Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. I forgot the word. Okay. We will save that. I think I broke it. My YouTube studio is breaking. It is very unhappy with what I'm doing.
I believe that.
Wow. Now they can hear us.
Oh, hey,
Now,
Baron. Hey, Yoda. I was just talking to you before, and you couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
Because Lee is in charge.
Listen, dude. I'm trying to do the live stream thing. It's really hard.
He's like, how do I do this?
I think I
And
figured it out.
we've got Vanessa here too. Woohoo!
Twitch.tv/Jeremy Needing Jake.
Yep.
Oh wait, the chat's working. Wait, what? How is the chat working here? I don't understand.
Twitch.tv. See, it's actually nice because on the YouTube stream we have Twitch. No, on the YouTube stream we've got YouTube chat. That's cool.
There. Hello? That's the. Why is it showing my Streamlabs? Don't look there. You're not allowed to see behind the curtain. Oh no! Oh, my desktop's. Oh man, this is all a big mess.
It's like a voided space.
I think you guys could hear us, right? I hope.
Yeah, tell us if you can hear us.
Yeah, for
because
the love
I'm
of
gonna say
God.
the word. This is the secret word. Put poop in chat.
That's not the secret word.
That's the secret word. If you hear us, type in poop.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. He's lying.
Would I lie to you?
Do you want an actual answer? Because we all know the answer to it, right?
I would do it if I thought it was funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not to deceive, but because I would laugh.
Oh, you deceptive little lying jerk.
You're a lying liar that lies.
Okay, my chat's disappeared. I don't know. Too late, wizard.
Yeah, it's not. It's on the wrong scene. You have to put that browser source. See these.
What
guys.
browser source? I don't have a browser source yet. Hold on.
Browser source where you have your chat on the starting soon screen.
Hold on. I'm going. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
How embarrassing.
Starting soon. Copy my chat.
I'd rather not type that. Vanessa
to my
doesn't want
left
it.
and post it here. Wait, no. Chat. There. Did that work?
I don't know. It'll take a minute. They'll have to chat on things.
Oh, it doesn't just happen? Oh.
Well, I mean, you just loaded it. And you might have settings that have it disappear after a few seconds or something.
I don't know what I believe, man. Who knows what's going on? All right, whatever.
I believe
we're good.
that.
I think we're good. I think everything's up. I think I'm going to put my chat stuff up there. I'm going to put my Streamlabs over there. No, that's my disc. Where'd my Streamlabs go? There's my Streamlabs over there. And we're set. We're good to go.
You need 4 monitors like me.
I know. I really do. I have
I'm not
it
gonna
right
lie.
here.
I feel spoiled for real estate
Dude,
because of it.
You know, once you get, I think 4 is where you cap out, right? 4 is like the cap mark. Like 3 is like, you've made it, and then 4 is like, that's great. But then you get to 5 and you're like, this is just too much.
Well, as a streamer, no streamer would ever say 5 is too much. I'll just say it that way.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, whatever. What are we looking at first?
Well, we've got the monk, we've got the sorcerer, we've got the bard, and the cleric, and I'm
Do we
down
have the
for any of
sorcerer?
it.
I didn't see
Well, there's
it.
no article.
It doesn't, why? Why is there no article for the sorcerer?
Probably because their chat GPT didn't write for them.
Oh no. Man, Jeremy needs Jake now more than ever to write his articles.
Just saying I'm available.
Okay, let's we
We'll
got
start with the monk.
we got let me just make sure we got monk, cleric,
We've got Adrian Monk.
bard are the 3 we have in posts. Did the sorcerer just drop today?
No, that was Bard.
Sorcerer
No,
dropped
don't think about it too hard.
Okay.
Yeah, because it won't make sense.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the post, and the posts are like not in.
Ooh, Vanessa wants Sorcerer first.
I don't have the sorcerer. I'm sorry. I mean, we can watch the video.
I have it right here.
Do you want to watch the video? We can watch it together.
It's starting on monk, but I have the Sorcerer notes.
Let's watch the video. Let's watch a video together, everyone. This is now a reaction channel.
Let's do it. That
Look
could
at
be
me.
fun.
All right. Do you want me to share my this thing, the video that I'm currently going to be watching through Discord, or are you just gonna watch it with me?
I mean, I'd rather watch with you. So, like, if you pause it, I'd want it to pause.
Got it. Okay, so I will. I'm gonna change my thing to stream. Where?
You just stream the application. We're good.
Where? Dungeons and Dragons. Here we go.
We've got Indestructible in chat. Hello there.
Yo, Taryn, how's it going? 40 minute? No, that's the monk. Okay. I almost lost my shit.
You're like, well, that's not.
I was like, there's no way they made that many changes.
I can't last that long.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Hello. Now I can see you. Taryn, I haven't talked to you in like... I was going to look at my watch. I don't have a watch, and I don't even remember how long it's been, but it's been a long time. I saw you guys, you looked at this stuff earlier. Maybe not this stuff. I think it was the monk you looked at. But I was holding off looking at anything because I wanted to keep myself pure so I could get a pure reaction in front of a camera. The monk is very big. That's good. I love the monk. I like the monk class. At least it's a fantasy.
I think they did a lot of nice things.
Good.
Curious to see how it plays out.
All right, Jake, the audio might go, or live stream, audio might go a little bit weird for Jake in a second because I'm about to change my... Listen, dude, I don't live stream. All right,
Just go to Discord.
Hello? Say something.
Hello. Go to Discord. Hit share your screen.
Share my screen.
And
by the way, I work in IT, everybody. And I've worked in IT for a very long time. Okay, here we go. And
he still wants me to hold his hand the whole way.
Dude, it's I'm scared. All right, did that work? Hello? Can you hear me?
I think it's gonna work.
Any changes to the Wizard Necromancer? There were no updates to the Wizard Necromancer, unfortunately, yet. Although, the Wizard changes were a doozy, if I do say so myself. At least, you know, the Abjurer Wizard was a
Spellbreaker.
Frickin' doozy. The changes are massive. You won't spoil them. It's top 3 classes in the game. That makes me so excited. There's a lot of changes to the monk. All right, so without spoiling anything, and this is what I would love to hear, is because traditionally, marshals and casters, big gap in how people view them in 5th edition. Does this change that? At least, does the monk kind of change that at all?
There's perception and there's reality.
Okay, I don't know what that means, freaking Mr. Miyagi. All right, let's go ahead and watch this. Let's see what this is.
I don't want to wax on poetic about this.
Here we go.
Lots of new things to...
We're a reaction channel. Asmongold. I'm focusing my inner... I know you don't know who that is, but I'm focusing my inner Asmongold.
Talk about. We've got a new table. We've got some very big improvements for subclasses. Let's dive in.
The Sorcerer has had a number of exciting transformations. This is
your best
class
friend.
For the person who was either born with the magic or an event happened and transformed them.
Nah.
This is the closest in some ways we get in D&D to having a class that's almost like a superhero, a person who just has innate powers. we wanted to enhance that theme in a variety of ways. And you can see that right away at first level in the class with a brand.
Before we get into that, I just saw that Terrence said the monk's probably going to get banned at a lot of tables, which is a big bummer.
New feature
tables that aren't
called
fun.
innate.
Well, I can't wait to. I want to hold the monk off because it's my preferred class. Also, Vanessa wanted to see Sorcerer first, and there's no post because ChatGPT didn't write it. Honestly, they're slacking. Come on, ChatGPT.
We're good.
Sorcery. Innate sorcery allows
Okay.
a sorcerer to spend a bonus action, basically burst with their innate magic, and while this phenomenon goes on, the spell save DC of their sorcerer spells increases by 1, and they have advantage on any attack roll they make as a part of a sorcerer spell.
Wait. What? I didn't. That didn't register fully.
On
So
The
they
spell
have
save-
Sorceress Rage, basically.
Really?
And during their innate sorcery event,
Which is a
their
bonus
spell
action.
save goes up by 1, and they have advantage on all their spell attacks.
Just for a bonus action. At
Well,
level
it's
1.
kind of like Rage, so I don't know if it's limited to a few
Well, he
times
said
a
it was
day
bonus
or-
action, right?
this
Well, it is a bonus action, just like Rage is.
phenomenon goes on, the spell save DC of their sorcerer spells
the
increases
DC.
by 1, and they have advantage on any attack roll they make as a part of a sorcerer spell.
Oh, so okay, so that's just like
Yeah.
so it's just you really want this thing to hit real good. Make sure it hits.
It's not a single instance. You're entering a
You're
sorceress. rage.
entering it.
Think like a barbarian.
Wait.
Barbarian's different when they're
Okay.
raging. The sorcerer is different during innate sorcery.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we're gonna do the bard. I think after this sorcerer stuff. So if you want to save yourself, Taryn, you might want to zone out in a little bit.
Yeah, he just said he's peacing out, but
Oh, okay. Later, man. Have a good one. Hey, I did not forget about my car warranty. What's going on?
hey, Josh.
What's up, Josh? How's it going? Okay. Let's keep going.
When designing it, we thought of it essentially as the sorcerer's rage. It has a very different role in the class from rage.
Yeah.
But it is a similar kind of thing of just suddenly, like, rah! I'm
Yeah,
filled
you're
with-
powering
I'm
up.
powering up. And we wanted to give people this feature right away because this feature shows, especially when you put the new warlock next to the new sorcerer, next to the new wizard, it's very clear looking at even just their first level how distinct each of the 3 arcane spellcasters are from each other.
Yeah.
Now, the spellcasting feature of the sorcerer has also been improved. As we've done in our other dedicated spellcasters who have cantrips, we've made it so that you can change one of your cantrips whenever you level up.
Yeah.
And cantrips used to be like a perma choice. You chose it, and that was that for the rest of your career. When you get to 2nd level, you get Font of Magic and Meta Magic at that same level now. For those of you who are not familiar with the Sorcerer, Font of Magic is the feature that gives you.
Come on, Jeremy. I don't need a recap of what it is.
Variants into spell slots. It can include taking spell slots. And meta magic is revisited every
It's
one
gonna
of
skip
the meta magic.
around.
I mean, he's explaining what meta magic and font of power was previously. I care about the new.
It's called providing context.
Listen, all right. I don't care about context. I'm not ChatGPT. I'm a person.
Fine-tuned them,
dangerous words.
shared a lot of that retuning with folks through Unearthed Arcana, got feedback, and now we have the final slate here for sorcerers to use, along with a couple of new options that appeared originally in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
Yeah.
And so that all
makes
means
sense.
that now sorcerers have an even better meta magic kit than they did before, that they can also combine with their innate sorcery burst,
Yeah.
which gets better then at higher levels. at 5th level, you get Sorceress Restoration, which now lets you get sorcery points back a bit easier than you could
Okay.
before. Then at level 7, you have a new feature called Sorcery Incarnate, which allows you to spend sorcery points to get uses of innate sorcery back.
Yeah.
So if you've run
So
out of
okay, so it's literally
your
rage.
power-up ability, well, now you can use sorcery points to get it back. We've also now made it so that starting at level 7, while your innate sorcery is active, you can now use 2 of your meta magic options on each spell.
I like that,
instead of the normal
but-
1, because typically
That costs
when
a
a
lot.
sorcerer casts a spell, they can only use 1 meta magic option at a time on that spell. Although there are a few exceptions. There's some specific meta magic options
Yeah.
that can piggyback on other meta magic options. But again, at level 7 now,
I'm gonna
all
quicken and
sorcerers
twin.
gain the ability that while
Yeah.
they're powered up with their innate sorcery,
And that's just innately. You can do that as much as you want, right?
No, so it's basically like saying the barbarian can do cool things during their rage.
Mm-hmm.
The sorcerer can do cool things during innate sorcery, which is,
Yeah, but like if
let's just
they're
be frank, that's a terrible name.
yeah,
I
but
told him that, but he just wasn't listening, and I was like, all right, go with your design team, but
but no one's gonna like
it's a
this.
stupid name.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy is really dropping the ball here, man. But if you're in your innate sorcery, sorry, you could do that. Your next turn, you could theoretically twin, quicken, twin,
I'm
empower,
gonna quicken and twin disintegrate. How about
right?
that?
Well,
Yeah.
to
Jesus.
double up on meta magic options.
And then you could twin it again as an action.
No, you can't because it's a leveled spell, right?
I guess that's technically true.
Yeah.
But you could still drop some nasty fun.
Yeah, that's still pretty freaking nuts,
Then
though.
at level 20, they get what is
You can lead a game dev to water. Oh,
He's
that's
just horsing
good.
around.
You... Jeremy!
Seahorse Sensei enters the chat.
Huh? Seahorse Sensei? That's such a good name. Have they talked about stealth rules yet, or are they going to spread it out over 10 books and now the new PHP? If I know anything about Wizards of the Coast, they're going to spread it out across 30 different books, and they're going to use different conditions, only they're going to clarify those different conditions in different books. As well as, like, it's because it's going to include the blinded condition, it's going to include being invisible, it's got to include all of these other things. Not to mention, if you have something like blind sight, then you got to go to another book for that. Or just like true sight, or just an innate sense. So it's going to go all over the place. That's just how it functions.
To be fair, all these things will be in one place, but it will be marketed as new. I'm not going to take that as my own idea. I'm going to give that to the other Jay. And Jeremy needing Jake and Josh.
Jeremy. All right, let's see. What do we got? Keep
probably
going.
my favorite new name for a feature in the new player's handbook. They get Arcane Apotheosis. And simply
Okay.
because apotheosis is such a delicious word to say.
Yeah.
And what this now lets you do is when your innate sorcery feature is active, on each of your turns, you can use a meta magic option without spending sorcery points at all. And so what this means is,
That's a cool
in addition
capstone.
to its base
Oh, that's 18?
improvements for you, innate sorcery
20.
over time
20.
will just turn you as a sorcerer into a meta magic machine because you will just start being able to modify your spells in more ways
Okay,
and doing
well,
it for
I mean-
free, which then also has the carry-on effect
It's
of
cool.
allowing you to stretch out your sorcery points more.
Yeah.
But it's
in
level
addition to
20,
us
like-
giving you more ways to get your
You're never going to use it that much. You're going to get to use it once or twice, and then your game's over. I don't know. It's fun.
Well, I think the thinking is, whether or not it actually plays out that way, is that epic boon feats means you're going to play until you're level 60.
I am really curious to see how that works, because I love the a lot of people hate high level D&D because they think it's like broken.
A lot of people don't know how to make encounters, but
Yeah, you can't challenge your D&D party. D&D
dumbest
doesn't
take
allow me
ever.
to challenge my party. It's just not set up that way. It's
I just
impossible
don't know how to make
do.
things harder.
I just don't know what to do. If only
You
there
need me
was
to
some.
add more monsters?
If only there was some handsome man with glasses, with a deep voice, who looked like a discount Henry Cavill, who could save me
Oh,
from
there's
this.
nothing discount about it. Henry Cavill is a discount Josh.
Okay, fine.
Your sorcery points back.
Apotheosis is really a juicy word. Well, actually, I'm impressed that I said that correctly, if I'm being frank.
We've also
you're
made
Frank,
it
I'll
so
be
that by
Jeff.
the time you reach level 20,
I thought you were. I'm
you're
so
essentially
confused.
getting sorceress coupons all over the place, so that you're
Sorcerer's
able to do more
coupons,
and more
the new
things,
capstone ability.
without spending as many points as you would have had to in the past.
Perfect.
So all of this together means that the sorcerer class itself, which already was all about sort of customization on the fly, given how sorcerers use metamagic, you now have that in spades. Also, just
Well,
as,
you
a,
do at
as,
level
a,
20.
as an aside, a sort of meta commentary, if people want to think about how the sorcerer and the warlock in particular relate to each other, or rather contrast with each other, we think in many ways of the warlock as the arcane spellcaster, where you have a ton of customization choices at character creation and as you level up. I mean, it is supremely customizable. The sorcerer, in contrast, is about customization in the moment.
Right.
So while it does not have the
That's a
same
cool
amount
design
of
philosophy.
build versatility as the warlock, it has a tremendous amount of tactical versatility.
I do like that
And
philosophy,
then
at least.
their
It sounds
companion
interesting.
in the arcane triad, the wizard, is all about just being the most versatile with the most number of spells.
Yeah.
And so the three of them together then fill really distinct niches together as the arcane trio. Shall we dive into the subclasses?
Yeah,
Yes,
let's dive in.
yes.
First off, we've got Aberrant Sorcery. This is the
That's the Aberrant Mind.
Tentacles, Engu, Cosmic Horror.
This is the
one
Tasha's
of my
one,
favorites from
I think.
Tasha's by far. Tell me what has improved here.
So
Nothing.
Aberrant
Well, they haven't updated anything from Tasha's in any of the subclasses. They're pretty much like, Tasha's is good. Leave it as it is.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah. The amount of damage your DM can deal out per round times 3 is the enemy's HP. I guess that's a good way of
It's too
doing
formulaic
that.
for my taste, but
Yeah, that
it's
makes
at least
sense,
a starting
though.
point.
It's a good starting point to go through, I suppose, because well, I guess you got to consider because people like to blow their load super early, right? So you got to consider
Paladin.
that. Smite, just twin spell disintegrate.
Smite me, oh mighty smiter.
Am I green screening out my face? I don't know. And same thing with the health of you. Yeah, I mean, I am mean when it comes to encounters. Every single thing I do by CR is deadly because the CR system just doesn't work half the time. But yeah, they changed proficiency times from cautious, but that's about it for this.
sorcery and clockwork sorcery.
Josh knows what's up.
Both
Wait, what was it?
aberrant sorcery and clockwork sorcery
Clockwork?
both migrated in from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. And they were so beloved in that book and so
Yeah.
solid that they have made the migration intact. So each of them are going to feel very familiar and cozy for anyone who has played them before. Now, in the process, we have made a few tweaks, but mostly they're clarification tweaks,
Yeah.
and mostly about making sure that these two subclasses integrate in with the new player's handbook as
Yeah.
seamlessly as possible. And so people will see there are some wording changes, some details, but the core functionality that you love, whether it's your GUI aberrant sorcerer or your order-powered clockwork sorcerer, the things you love are still there. Because again, these two subclasses were so solid.
Yeah, so they just carried both of those subclasses straight
and
over.
Also, really are a nice thematic contrast to the Draconic Sorcerer and the Wild Magic Sorcerer. Those were the two that were in the 2014 Player's Handbook. And these two, like so many of the other subclasses that we've added to the Player's Handbook roster, help fill out the quartet. You can think of the Aberrant Sorcerer as being a companion to the Draconic Sorcerer, in that in the Player's Handbook, these are the two sorcerers who are associated with types of monsters.
Yeah.
They are, in some ways, you can almost think of them as the monstrous sorcerers.
Right.
And one of them, and it's interesting, they both have to do with creatures that often have scales.
Yeah.
But again, with the Draconic Sorcerer, it's associated with, the most iconic creatures in our game, dragons, who have a mystical connection with the material plane, in contrast to Aberrant Sorcery, which is connected to the tentacle and star and horror-filled far realm, which is basically as far away from the material plane as you can get.
Yeah.
And so these two, the Aberrant Sorcerer and the Draconic Sorcerer, in a way represent two extremes on the monstrous sorcery axis. This is in contrast to the Clockwork Sorcerer and the Wild Magic Sorcerer, who are really about order and chaos. With the Clockwork Sorcerer being all about tapping into the magic of planes
It is
like
interesting
Mechanus to impose
that instead of
order.
using the Cleric to lean into alignment-like things, they use the Sorcerer,
Yeah.
which is fine. It's just a little funny to me.
I still haven't heard any details about any of them yet, so I'm still like,
Innate
He's just
magic.
long-winded.
Not only butted up against wild magic sorcery, but also really aberrant sorcery too, because
come on, give
now
me details.
coexist together
Yeah.
in some significant new elements in them.
Well, let's get into the Draconic Sorcerer, which was always a beloved one.
Oh yeah, so the Draconic Sorcerer.
That's a Draconic Sorcerer?
is, in many ways, the iconic
What?
sorcerer
I
subclass.
wasn't ready for that.
Particularly because dragons have been a part of the backstory of the sorcerer class, going back to the class's introduction in 3rd edition. And so it was always important to us that in 5th edition, we retain that draconic element and to honor the class's origin back in 3rd edition. And so what we've done here is we have really amped up the draconic angle of this subclass. So first off, you're going to see that we have sort of remixed several of the elements so that you still have what you'd expect, like your increased resilience. You still have more hit points than the typical sorcerer. You also have, without wearing any armor, a higher armor class than the typical sorcerer. But now that's joined at 3rd level by a list of spells, which you did not have
An
before.
expanded
It
spell.
did not exist before.
No, yeah, this is a brand new feature called Draconic Spells. And
Wow.
here we were able to give you magic that will assist you in leaning
Why do you keep
fully
showing the
into
same
your
picture, guys?
dragon magic fantasy. And here we were able to really make use of the expanded spell chapter in this book. Here's some examples. We now are able to give you, right at 3rd level, the spell Dragon's Breath, because Dragon's Breath is one of the spells that has been added to the Player's Handbook.
Why would...
We also, I'm particularly excited about this, when you reach 9th level as a sorcerer and you have this subclass, you can now summon a dragon. Which
What?
was not an option for the sorcerer in 2014.
Don't get too excited.
But because the brand new spell
probably the
Summon
same thing
Dragon
as-
is in the Player's Handbook,
All the other summon spells.
you can do what it says on the tin and now have a
So
certain
that's
number
the
of
ninth
times
level
per day,
feature.
a dragon buddy who's fighting alongside you.
It's just on their
The
spell
summon
list when
dragon
they
spell
get level 5
is
spells.
Oh, okay.
a sort of new version of a summoning spell that we had in Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, and this one has been retooled to be appropriate for the core game.
Okay.
Now, we couldn't resist, so we kept going in enhancing this subclass. You still have the resistances also that were associated with the subclass,
Yep,
but now
you
they
said
don't
that.
cost sorcery points.
Yeah.
And
That was, yeah. Seahorse Sensei. That's what I was thinking. That's why when you said Dragon's Breath is the spell, I was like, why? They didn't say anything about the that stuff. I mean, I guess that's kind of tied to the race, wouldn't it be? Yeah. I guess so. I guess that makes sense. I don't know.
so
I don't get excited about an expanded spell list, though, right? Like, it's nice to have, but it's, like, not exciting to me. I don't know.
this will
It's
allow
a
you.
way overdue thing.
Yeah. Well,
Like
that's...
once they brought it in with aberrant sorcery and clockwork sorcery, it was just complete negligence that it wasn't. They didn't just release some kind of, hey, this is here for everyone.
Yeah, well, sorcerers need it, right? Because they have a, I wouldn't say super limited spell list, but they have a limited spell list comparatively to, like...
I don't think the spell list is as bad as the spells known.
True, fair. That's a good point.
And I think that's where the real value comes to play.
You
Sorcerer is like a race, though. I mean, yeah, you got a point. Sorcerer is because
maybe
of the
they're
way
born
you're
with it.
bored. Maybe it's draconic sorcery.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
yeah.
Hashtag not sponsored.
But hey, maybe we could be.
Yeah, we take requests.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit. I'll wear eyeliner and stuff on stream if I freaking get money for it. Let's go. I'm down.
to enjoy this benefit without having it be a drain on your sorcery point pool. We've also increased the speed of your dragon wings. Now, you're not going to
Good.
be able to have them on all the time, but when you
Bad.
do have them on, you're going to be even faster than you were in 2014.
Eh.
Finally,
It's like hey, we're taking this away, but we'll give you something to make it feel a little easier.
at level 18, you have a brand new feature called Dragon Companion. Now, you already
Wait a minute, Dragon
at level
Companion.
9 started always having the Summon Dragon spell prepared.
Uh-huh.
Well, when you reach level 18, building on that, you can now cast that spell without requiring its costly material component. And you can also cast it without a spell slot once per day. And you also have the option of when you cast it in this way of not having to concentrate on it. You can have your dragon buddy out and be concentrating
So you just get a better Find Familiar, I guess, at level 18.
on another.
Seems
If
like
I'm
that.
reading into the level 9 is when you get it, it's probably a level 5 spell. So it is probably
Well,
strong.
It is, but yeah, it's a level 18, so you just get that. So, but I mean, not
It's just for
concentrating
free.
on it is nice.
Spell when you reach level.
But none of that makes me excited.
And so that means now,
It's not
in
bad.
addition to
Yeah, I'm not overly excited about
embodying
it, but I think
draconic
it's just
power
good and
yourself,
needed changes.
Yeah.
you can have this dragon
Right,
companion.
next.
Love with wild magic sorcery since I was a kid. I remember so much new in this.
Arcana is we have removed the element in this subclass that essentially required you to get DM permission
Yeah.
to have your wild magic happen. Now
Mother, may
you
I?
just get to use your class feature. Now, there's still a unpredictable
If there was a DM that wasn't allowing it, they're a bad DM.
side to it,
Yeah.
which is a core part of
I mean, right? Like, if you're playing a
Oh,
wild
yeah.
magic sorcerer and you're like, yeah, no, you can't do that thing your sorcerer's good at. Or,
It's like, please talk to your DM before taking Ozempic. Like,
if
it's
you
kind of
experience
like
a
that
wild
sort of
magic
a thing.
surge longer than 4 hours, please contact a DM.
It just keeps surging. Ah!
No, stop.
It's just
All right, we're done.
magic
Goodbye, everyone.
Of this subclass's identity, but at least you
man.
now know that if the die rolls are kind to you or unkind, depending on what you end up rolling, you know wild magic is going to happen, and you're always just waiting to find out when. So
Yeah.
it now really is. It's just a question of when now, not if.
Yeah, because you can force its hand eventually.
Yes, which you could also do in 2014, but you have a bit more flexibility here, particularly because you can more easily get Tides of Chaos back than you could before.
Yeah.
And all of this means that you will be able to dip into this pool of chaos more reliably. So much so that when you get to level 18, we have a brand new feature for this subclass where you can, once per day, automatically trigger a wild magic surge.
Yeah.
And you get to choose what happens.
Oh,
And that's why
nice.
this
That's huge.
new feature is called Tamed Surge, that by level 18, you have figured out how to tap into
You bring
your wild
order to
magic so
chaos.
effectively.
That is pretty
that
cool.
you-
I do think that's cool, but yeah.
If you do think about, there's almost like a paradox in that feature, though. It's like you're the chaos person,
But
but
you're
you
not.
have order to it.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
They made changes that should happen, but I agree there's nothing spicy. Yeah, exactly, right? Like these change, and we talked about this in the last stream. Like every change that they have made has been a change that probably should happen, right? And some
I
of
think
them
a lot
have
of
been
tables
exciting.
were doing them to some extent or another already.
Yeah.
But it's good that they made that official, and I think there's enough with most classes to get excited about. The Sorcerer, to be honest, for me, I'm just excited that it will be better, not that anything, to use what Vanessa said. It's nothing that's so spicy that it's irresistible.
Yeah.
It's just good.
I think so. I'm holding my judgment for a lot of this stuff until I actually see it in like its full fleshed out form, right?
Yep.
And
And then also watching it play at the table,
exactly, right?
because otherwise it really is just our imagination.
Yeah, if you have a wild magic surge lasting more than 4 hours, contact your DM. Exactly. It's no
If you have a
joke.
wild magic surge lasting more than 4 hours, please contact your dungeon master.
Wild magic is not responsible for any harm-bringing dismemberment or any.
Or arbitrary explosions of fire.
Oh god.
You can look at the wild magic surge table and just, well, have that happen. Now there are a couple of limits here. One is you cannot choose the final row in that table because that final row has some really juicy options that you only gain access to if the dice give you access to them. We've also made it so that if you choose a row on the table that itself has a die roll in it, you have to still make the die roll within that row. Now, where
Okay.
the majority, though, of the new material in this subclass exists is not actually in the features we've talked about.
Yes.
It's in the table.
Okay,
It's
good.
amazing.
Good.
So
That's great.
I'm glad you think so.
Complete game changer for wild.
They needed more fun wild magic features because I think a lot of them were too vanilla. You got to get some craziness in there.
You turn into a smurf.
Magic sorcery.
Yeah.
In Unearthed Arcana, people got to see the new features for this subclass.
Yeah.
And there's great feedback, a lot of excitement about the new features. But in UA, people were still using the Wild Magic Surge table from 2014. And my goodness, is everyone in for a treat because
it's amazing.
because the table has been redesigned from top to bottom.
Perfect. I
And
love that.
it still involves rolling percentile dice.
Yeah, it's still chaos.
Oh, in some ways it's even more chaotic than it was before.
Because you have more rolls that can happen within this roll.
Yes.
Things can really pop off.
Because we perhaps
Does he show us anything in that table or talk about it at all?
Nah, you pretty much heard
Alright,
it.
we're
Everything there is
skipping
to
it.
know about
Options
the
to see
sorcerer now.
the options that were there for.
Is that all? That's all they talked about?
Yeah, really. He just says that there still are some bad options, but there are more good, so that they're leaning into more fun and excitement. And that I actually kind of zoned out a little bit there. I don't know if you mentioned this, but there's no wild magic expanded spell list. It's the surge table kind
Is
of
the
your-
feature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's where that is.
Okay, well that's the sorcerer then.
Yeah.
Really not much. I mean, it's a magic.
It's such a sexy
rage.
class. But there
It's-
was not a lot of sexy things happening.
Well, that's what I mean, is right. Like it's like expand meta magic.
I will say, innate sorcery, I want to see play out at the table. Because that is going to really open some things up.
Yeah. I'd be
Arcane
curious.
apotheosis.
Well, I'd be curious to see, like, if you're giving yourself advantage on an attack or increasing your spell save DC by 1. One of those things is significantly, I think, stronger. I think advantage on a spell attack is significantly stronger than a single DC increase. So I wonder if
Yeah.
there would be any way to increase that at all. But I can see that getting incredibly overpowered very quickly, because anything that touches that number is...
Well, we've seen that in Eve of Ruin.
Yeah, anything that touches that number can just blow the game open.
I was like, I get a +2 to my save DC?
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. All right, let's go ahead and look at the monk. Let's look at the monkey now, the monkey boy.
Monk.
Bye, Jeremy. All right, what Vanessa said monk, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So there's two. There's monk 24 versus 2014 and warrior of the elements. Bend the elements to your will. I'm assuming that's just the elemental monk. So
Yeah, the Elements Monk is one of the subclasses.
okay, let's look at the monk. The monk got a 40-minute video.
It did.
So let's take a look. Do I look at this table or do I just skip? I'm just gonna skip past the table and go right into this.
Yeah, you can do whatever you'd like.
Okay. Martial arts. Changes to the monk come early with adjustments to martial arts. The biggest change is that the monk's martial arts dice now starts at one size larger. Okay.
Yay.
And now goes all the way up to a D12. That's great. I think that's awesome. I think that's fantastic.
Very overdue.
Oh man, Wilson's panicking. Ah, monk. Okay. Now, any martial melee weapon with the light property qualifies as a monk. Careful, Wilson. You might trigger a bot to stop the spam. I take no responsibility in case you do get timed out. I don't know how I've set this live stream up. Just warning you.
It's all fair.
Yeah, any martial art or weapon with the light property qualifies as a monk weapon. All simple melee weapons are also considered monk weapons. Any martial
It's a nice little
melee.
expansion.
That's nice. Yeah, you
Yeah,
have more
I like
options. And finally, you can use your dexterity instead of your strength when attempting to grapple or shove. Yes, that
Yes,
is
so-
so big. Oh.
So this is baked into just redefining what is considered an unarmed strike.
Mm-hmm.
Because an unarmed strike lets you either deal damage, grapple, or shove a creature. Which, if you think about how many unarmed strikes that the monk gets, I do still think you're going to want to deal damage more often than the other two. But if there's a wall of fire your companion summoned, you want to push them right back into it or whatever you got going on, there is a certain level of control over the battlefield that just makes sense for this kind of character, and I really like that.
Yeah, dude, I am so... I mean, you've seen it in our game. I love to do things that aren't, like, traditional attack deal damage. I love this grappling and shove shit. I love doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
So this is fantastic. I might be taking a monk level now because of this single thing.
Well, that's just how they redefined an unarmed strike. So, in our Eve of Ruin game, you're playing Aradel. If Aradel does an unarmed strike, anyone that does an unarmed strike can do this. They don't get the
well, this isn't
dexterity
even.
over the
This is
strength.
just. This doesn't say anything about unarmed strike. This just says you can use this when attempting to grapple or shove.
Correct. That was, monks use dexterity for unarmed strikes, but that was in the monk video. So I have a little. I mean, like, I know we've talked about it before, but I do have the inner line of communication with Jeremy because of how needy he can.
Yeah, true. I forgot. Yeah, any clarification I need, I gotta verify with you before I
got
say.
you. I got you.
The ability to paralyze your enemy was so powerful that the monk was never going to feel as strong. You're glad they nerfed it. Yeah, I mean, there are some things the monk could do that were very strong, but at the same time, their DC and stuff, right? Like, I don't know. We'll take a look. We'll see what we get.
Yeah, I mean, Stunning Strike, it was changed. I'm not going to say it got nerfed.
Okay. Monk's Focus at level 2. You get a new feature where you'll find Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, and Step of the Wind. The last two having seen
This is
more
where I think you're going to
improvements.
see a lot of multi-class monks out there.
Patient Defense now allows you to take the Disengage action as a bonus action, okay, without spending any focus points. But if you do spend a focus point, you can disengage and dodge in the same bonus action.
So you have
Okay,
a baseline. I can disengage as a bonus action like a rogue. But if I spend a focus point, I
You
can
get the
both
dodge as
disengage
well.
and dodge.
So it's effectively better than what it was, significantly. Because
Oh, yeah.
prior, you would spend the key point to dodge. Now you can free just disengage as a bonus action, as well as get a dodge if you spend that focus point, or key point, or whatever they're going to call it now.
Yep.
Okay. Likewise, Step of the Wind allows you to dash as a bonus action, no focus point required.
free.
But spending
Just
one
like-
allows
just
you
like
to
the rogue.
disengage and dash as part.
Of the same action. So it's effectively, think of it as you have cunning action, really. Well, you don't have hide, but
Well-
you have disengage or dash by themselves for free. And if you want to combine it with disengaging and dodging, or disengaging and dashing.
But why would you ever do Patient Defense then? Because Step of the Wind lets you do all three: dash, disengage, and dash.
Because if you have no focus points,
Oh, dodge.
Step
I
of the
see,
Wind
I see.
only lets you dash.
Got it,
whereas
got it,
Patient
okay.
Defense lets you disengage.
Got it. Understood. Okay, that's pretty good. Using a focus point for Step of the Wind also doubles your jump distance for it. Okay, cool. Uncanny Metabolism.
This is
This
cool.
second level feature allows the monk to regain all expended focus points when they roll initiative once per long rest. Additionally, when you use this feature, you also regain hit points equal to your monk level plus a roll. That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool.
Monk's got a lot of survivability upgrades. Like in
Yeah.
our ancient relics and Hoki religions, we have a very unconventional party, and our monk is like our tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling him that I was like, "You're kind of the only real like frontline person." He was like, "Oh, we're in trouble then." I was like, we'll find out," you know.
Yeah.
And this would make that a lot easier.
This is cool. I do like this. Deflect attacks, formerly deflect missiles. I like where this is going. As the name suggests, deflect attacks has much more usability. No longer limited to ranged weapon attacks. Deflect attacks allows you to reduce the damage of any attack that includes bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage. The damage is reduced by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier and monk level, and if you reduce that damage to 0, you can use a focus point to redirect it. Depending on if the attack was a melee or ranged attack, you can target a creature between 5 to 60 feet, respectively, and force them into a saving throw against damage based on your martial arts die and your dexterity modifier. That's cool. I love that. I love this kind of retributive style of play.
This one upgrades too, but I'll wait till we get there because it's fun.
Ariadel's dead. I'm playing a monk. Sorry. At level 3, the monk class gets to pick its subclass. Okay, Mercy, Shadow. Really? They went all of those. Okay. Mercy. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything has seen the fewest changes. Familiar features such as Hand of Harm and Implements of Mercy return with some minor tweaks. Hand of Healing is now a magic action, and now new classification to improve clarity and rules. The most significant change being that Flurry of Healing and Harm can now be used a number of times per long rest, equal to your Wisdom modifier. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of those specific things that used to be like, say, proficiency bonus times per day.
Yeah. All right. See you in a bit,
Limited to that.
Vanessa. Warrior of Shadow really shines in 2024. Pun intended. Shadow Arts has been reworked, allowing you to cast Darkness and Minor Illusion, and you can move the field of darkness you create. Perfect. That's fantastic. The feature also gives you dark vision. Nice.
Thank you.
Um,
You can see in your own darkness.
no, you can't. Unless they specify it here, you can't.
You'll
Because
get
darkness is not okay, well, hold on. As you level up, your level 11 improved Shadow Step allows you to spend a focus point to ignore dim light and darkness restriction of Shadow Step and make an unarmed strike immediately after you teleport as part of the same bonus action. Okay, that's nice. Finally, Cloak of Shadows is a new level 17 feature that allows you to wreathe yourself in the shadows, lasting for 1 minute until you're incapacitated or end your turn in bright light. While it's active, you have the invisible condition, which persists even if you attack or cast a spell. Holy
invisibility,
shit!
baby.
You can move through occupied spaces if they were difficult terrain. You can use flurry of blows without needing to spend any focus points. That's fucking insane.
That's a great capstone.
That
at
is a
level 17.
great capstone.
Yeah.
Now this makes Shadow Monk crazy strong. I still don't see the darkness for being able to see in your darkness though.
It was in the video.
It was okay.
It was, absolutely was. And when we did our subclass, we're still working on it. We'll be doing Sorcerer next, which is going to be super easy. But when we were choosing the 3 best monk subclasses, I refused to put Shadow as one of them because you couldn't see in your darkness.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what's the point in doing that? I mean,
Yeah.
it still has use, but it's just such an obvious, like, why do they not do
It really
that?
doesn't. It really doesn't. It's dumb. Warrior of the Elements has had the most number of changes and has good. This needed it because it's just I can
Yeah.
cast with my key points. It was
I
a
could
cool
spend
concept.
17 key points to cast
It's yeah,
Puff of Wind.
yeah, exactly. It's
It's like,
ridiculous.
you could use 17 key points to fart.
Yeah,
like-
it's
it's like-
the concept was cool, but it was just so poorly implemented, dude.
It's one of those things where it was just like you guys play test. You glossed over a play test and put it out there. I get it.
Yeah.
That's what.
Warrior
this
of
is
Elements
nice.
has the most number of changes and has received a lot of new and exciting changes. Elemental Attunement now gives you a 10-foot reach of your unarmed strike. Okay.
Yep.
And deals your
kind
choice
of like water is
acid, cold,
extending from your
fire, lightning,
hand
and
or
thunder
earth,
damage.
whatever it is.
Yeah. You can also push or pull a target 10 feet on a failed save. On top of that, you learn the new Elementalism cantrip. As you level up, you gain the ability to create AoE elemental bursts, fun ways to navigate the battlefield, and damage distances to aid survivability.
I can give you some details on that. So
Yeah.
like the elemental strikes lets you change the damage type of your unarmed strike and force a saving throw to move the target, which would be activated by focus points. Elementalism cantrip is essentially a combined version of things like control flames and mold earth, those kind of things. At level 6, you could spend focus points to choose a point within 120 feet of you and create a 20-foot radius sphere of elemental damage equal to your martial arts die. So it's
How big?
20 foot. It's the size of a fireball. It's only one of your martial arts die, so it's not. You're not
Crazy,
like crushing
yeah.
it. But if there is a bunch of minions, or maybe there's like 4 casters concentrating on a spell, like that's a really significant, cool thing you could do.
Is that an action?
I believe so.
Okay.
It doesn't say it is or not, but I would assume that feels like an action.
I like
to
how
me.
they specify it's seen a lot of new changes and excitement and stuff, and then they tell you literally nothing about it.
Yeah. At level 11, elemental attunement then also gives you a fly speed and a swim speed because, with the elements, you should be able to do things like that with things like wind and water. And then at level 17, it's called Elemental Epitome, and that lets you deal extra damage once per turn and choose an elemental damage resistance at the start of each of your turns. And the speed increases through your step of the wind while damaging nearby enemies that you just move next to. So
Oh.
you could just, he called it some kind of like, I guess the Storm Druid has a similar feature.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, like you're just running around people, I guess kind of like a Charlatan Stride, where you're just damaging people that you go near.
A Chardalon, yeah, I get that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. I want to see more details on that. Because, like, what they
Yeah,
currently
the
have
video
is,
has
like...
some, but
Yeah, I'm not watching a 40-minute video on this.
I
Yeah.
get it. I popped that sucker on 1.5 and
Yeah.
and wrote this stuff down on my,
plow through
on
it,
my
yeah.
scratch pad here.
I got you. Elemental Monk, go boom. Exactly.
Definitely.
All right, open hand. I really like the open hand monk.
I
They remain
only have a couple
largely
of notes there, but it's good.
unchanged, with the exception of one of its options only blocking opportunity attacks rather than all reactions. Okay, wholeness of body has been moved to a bonus action. Good. and now heals a number of hit points equal to a rolling martial arts dice plus your wisdom modifier. That's great, rather than 3 times your monk level. Kind of a. I guess it wouldn't even necessarily be a nerf. That's probably pretty good because you have a D6 up to a D12 now.
It's less because, let's just say you're a level 10 monk. That's 30 damage that you're going to heal. So it's
Yeah.
going to be less. But it's a bonus action. And that's, even though monks are bonus action heavy, you still have your full action to do what you're going to do.
You can use it now a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier per long rest. So it's kind of like a improved.
It also
second
doesn't
wind.
take your points, yeah.
Hey, what's up? Huh? I don't know. Hold on, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back, Jake. Entertain people.
Oh, I have been given an edict from on high.
Unless you need to go to the bathroom real quick. We'll take a quick break.
I don't have to.
Go pee. We'll be right back. Well, all right, I'll be right back. Hello? He's not back yet. Alright, it's okay. It's alright, I'm here. For a little bit. I gotta go make some dinner after this, but we'll be fine. Slide this on over. Alright, we'll give him a minute. I don't want to spoil it while he's not here. There he is. It's the boy. It's the lad and his dog. It's a whiny. Hey, how we doing?
Decided to bring in the real expert.
Yeah, on the monk.
This is my baby girl. We call her Tiny Miney, but her name is Hermione.
Tiny Miney.
Tiny Miney.
Alright, I think the monk's the last one I'm probably gonna be able to do. I might have to go cook dinner in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, whatever.
But we'll take a look at this. All right, Hermione, what are we thinking? We got open hand. Wholeness of body. The Fleet Step feature allows you to use your Step of the Wind as a bonus, as part of any bonus action that wasn't already used to perform Step of the Wind. And Quivering Palm has been rebalanced, now costing 4 focus points and does 10d12 force damage on a failed save, rather than reducing the target's hit points to 0. That's for the best.
Yeah,
that's for
absolutely.
the best.
but just take a look at what Fleet Step does.
Step of the Wind as part of any bonus act. Wait, so you just get to disengage, or you just get to
any bonus action.
Step of the Wind.
Other than Step of the Wind, you can also Step of the Wind after you're done.
Oh, holy snot! That's crazy.
You are gonna be all over the place.
Because you'd have to disengage with it as well. Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, it's just.
But that's
think
nuts.
about this, like, right? Like, how many times is there like an enemy spellcaster that they're like, "I need you to stun that sucker" or whatever, and you're like, "All right," so you're thinking, "Do I disengage? Do I Step of the Wind?" And it was like, "Well, now you could Flurry of Blows and Step of the Wind on the same turn."
God, that's nuts.
That's so cool.
That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I love open hand. I really want to see more details about this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Stunning Strike. You said it was nerfed / rebalanced / something.
It was changed, yeah.
Popular monk feature received a rebalance in 2024. It now requires the use of monk weapon or unarmed strike. If successfully applied, the stun condition now ends at the start of your turn rather than the end, and it can only be used once per turn. However, if the target succeeds on their saving throw, Stunning Strike, their speed is halved until the start of your next turn, and the next attack made against them is done. So that's not a nerf.
That's what I mean. Like, so people. That's why I didn't say nerf. People are saying
yeah.
it's nerf. But it's still got a guiding bolt-like feature in there, right? With the advantage on the next attack roll. And it's just, you're basically saying, I'm at least purchasing that and having your speed.
Yeah, that's pretty nice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think that's so much better than current Stunning Strike.
It is, because how many times you're like, okay, you've got your big bad, and your monk is like, all right, well, I'm level 12. I attack. Stunning strike. Okay, you succeed. Okay, stunning strike. Okay,
yeah.
Flurry of blows. Stunning strike. Stunning
Yeah.
strike. Granted, they're using 5 points in that one turn, but
Yeah.
this is just better.
I will say though, this is very likely to be that as a DM, this is gonna fucking suck.
What do you mean by that?
The speed is halved until the start of your next turn. That's gonna suck.
If they're trying to run, otherwise it's like, whatever, I'm still here. I'm fighting you.
That advantage is nice too. It just costs you trading advantage for a key point or stunning them, which is great.
It's just at least something, and I know this is our bit with Spirit Shroud, right? Like it reduces your speed, but you're already in melee, so it's kind of like
doesn't really matter much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it can come up, but at least the advantage on the next attack is there, and that's going to be really, really nice, especially if you have a rogue in the party. Maybe you're going to Flurry of Blows, and you have your Warrior of the Open Hand, so you can Step of the Wind away while setting up the rogue's sneak attack while you go do something else. Like, you're just all over the place. It's going to be fun.
I love that. All right, Empowered Strike. New version of Key Empowered Strike. You can change the damage type of your unarmed strikes to force damage. That's fantastic. Force damage is the least resistant damage type in 5th edition. I'm assuming it's going to be the same. Welcome back. Oh, no. I hope you didn't give yourself acid reflux.
You said that so like sarcastically.
That wasn't meant to be sarcastic. I
Like,
suffer
oh,
with
I
chronic...
hope you didn't get acid reflux.
Oh, no. I hope you didn't. Has this
Dude.
ever happened to you? You
dude.
scoff down your food to get back to the live stream about the new D&D classes, only to get acid reflux? Oh, man. Heightened Focus is a new level 10 feature that improves several of your core monk features. Fists of Flurry blows gains an additional attack, bringing the total of... Oh, that's cool. Next up, Patient Defense grants you temporary hit points based on 2 rolls of your martial arts dice. That's also really cool. And then
no,
Step
they
of
did
the
a lot of
Wind
really nice things.
can move one willing creature that's larger or smaller along with you until the end of your next turn, and they don't provoke opportunity attacks as you do. This is a really cool improvement. This is fantastic.
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh my god, I love this. Josh, Aridel's dead.
He wants to play a monk now. Well, he's where we left off.
Right where we left off, yeah. Shh. Shh.
I'm just creating intrigue.
Intrigue. Heightened Focus is a new level 10 feature that improves several of your core monk features. First, wait, I just read that. Self-Restoration. Another level 10 feature, Self-Restoration, lets you avoid levels of exhaustion you would normally accumulate when going without food or water, and at the end of your turn, end the charmed, frightened, or poisoned condition. Okay.
Rather than taking an action, I think, because that was that was a very action economy, not friendly
Thing, yeah.
thing.
That's
It's just,
nice.
It's not even an action. It's just at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Deflect energy, upgrade to deflect attacks, reduce the damage of any damage type. I love that. That's great. I'm assuming it's still an attack roll. Might as well make
it does
another.
not specify. I think.
It says damage of attacks. Which
Oh, does it? Okay.
Damage
Yeah, so
of
if you got
attacks.
fire bolted or something like that, you could be like, all right, I'm redirecting this fire.
Did they say anything about what the hell is it? That's a monk thing. Not a monk thing, a rogue thing. Never mind. Perfect Focus. If you roll initiative, you're below 4 focus points and don't use Uncanny Metabolism, you immediately regain enough focus points to bring you back up to 4. Okay, that's nice.
So basically, even if you had 3, if you had 2, if you had 1, if you had 0,
you
start
always
with
have
4.
some going into combat.
Yeah. Yep.
Superior defense.
Yeah, that would have been nice for chapter 1 of.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't want to spoil much, but
Yeah.
just saying.
At the start of your turn, you can expend 3 focus points to gain resistance to all damage type except force for 1 minute or until you're incapacitated. It's ideal when you're up against high-level enemies. Okay.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but it says for 1 minute. That's insane.
Think about when that comes online. That's at level 18.
That
you're
is
going to be in some
huge.
combats where that's going to be massive.
That is huge. Holy snow.
Monks are going to be one of the most just fun classes to play, I think. I've already been a little fascinated by it with our Baldur's Gate stuff. I'm like, you know what, monks? I think monks are fun.
Yeah.
I want to play a monk, yeah. But
All right. And then Epic Boon at level 19 and then 20. Bloody Mind, the Dex and Wisdom scores by 4 each. Woo, buddy.
yeah.
Okay.
Not a bad epic boon. Or,
yeah,
no,
right.
that's a capstone.
That's a capstone, yeah.
Yeah, but we couldn't do that for the barbarian, right?
Nope. Well, that's what, right? This is
strength and con. Why not? They're barbarians.
Didn't they do this for the barbarian? But 1.
That's what I mean. That used to be that. Then they were like, no, that's too strong. But here, monk.
But here, the monk
What?
does the same. It's
What?
the same, literally the
Wait,
same
what?
thing, the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's gonna make their AC go bonkers.
Yeah.
It'll be bananas.
It literally will. That's 4 AC right there. Just from this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, your unarmored defense is gonna put you at like a 22.
Oh, that's nuts.
And that's without magic items or whatever other shenanigans you've got going on.
That's crazy. Man. I want to keep reading, but I'm pretty sure I have to go make dinner.
You have to go be responsible, huh?
Yeah, I didn't think I'd have to be responsible, but being responsible is something that has to happen, I guess.
Believe me, I get it.
Alright, well, at least I have Cleric and Bard to look forward to coming up next. We still haven't seen the Druid.
The article? No, we've seen the Druid.
No, we just saw the changes to Wild Shape. We didn't see anything about the Druid. Right?
I mean, there's a video.
What is with their thing? Why? You gave Monk an article and the Way of the Elements an article. Huh?
But no Sorcerer.
No Sorcerer article. You gave a Druid a Wild Shape change update. But, like, I don't know.
Yep.
Damn it, ChatGPT. Yeah, the Monk's exciting, and you guys haven't even gotten into the subclasses.
It's true. Well, we did talk about.
Oh, we did talk about
elements
them. I think you were
and
gone
Sword
when
and
we did
Shadow,
that.
yeah.
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 Shadow's fucking insane. Open hands, freaking bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, I think I want to play a monk.
Well, talk to your DM. That's all I'll say.
No, D&D doesn't know
You
how.
put together such a fun build too.
I know, and it sucks because I can't even multi-class because it destroys the build. Big bummer. I was yeah. They don't believe in whole assing, only half assing. Exactly. You got 2 cheeks? Yep, sorry, I can only give you one in a something
So I
else.
keep trying to tell Jeremy, but he's like, just whatever you're doing, whatever the bit is, stick to it, or else you just lose something. I'm basically his Ron Swanson.
Oh no. All right, I gotta go make dinner. No, I gotta go make dinner, Vanessa. I'm sorry.
He put the cart before the horse, or the seahorse.
No, it was a
sensei, in
surprise.
this way.
It was a surprise seahorse cart, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I said we could do this tonight because I assumed I had nothing I needed to do, but apparently I have to do something now.
How
so
embarrassing.
adulting. I know I'll probably try to stream the other 2 some other day this week. Not that Jake will have to join me, but if he's joining me, he's more than welcome to join me if he has time. But either way, I'll try to get this done this week. So don't worry, I'll look at him either way. But now they have a partially complete. My God, keep shitting on him, Josh. Just keep going.
We got that short coming out on J&J.
Just keep going, man. All right, have a good night, everybody. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Thanks for hanging out, Mr. J.